told you you so extra, but I know I'm the same.
What is up, everybody? What is up? It is your girl EJ, and we are here to talk about the Prime Original Them. So I hope y'all are ready. This is part 2. We're gonna be talking about episodes 5 through 8, and y'all already know I gotta bring the crew on. I got my girl Tamika's Den is in the building. What's up, boo? How are you?
What's going on? I'm good.
Good. And you already know, gotta have my girl Moochie in the building. Hey, boo.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
And you already know my brother from another mother, my boy. Hey, Jay.
Yeah, what's up, ladies? It's been a minute.
I know. What's good, bro? What's good?
What's good? Thanks for the invite.
Of course. You're welcome. And then y'all already know we got Candy Love is in the building. Hey, girl.
Hey. I didn't think I was gonna make it, but I'm here.
What up?
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, and we're gonna try to do it in a timely manner, but it's 4 episodes, so it's a lot to cover. But to be fair, it's really more so of just kind of getting into the story of it, because honestly, even though it's a lot of episodes, it's really just the natural progression of the story. So it's not like a ton when you really look at it. So anyway, when we started on episode 5, y'all, I felt like this is where we really got into like the nitty gritty of it. Like we really saw, like it started speeding up for me. And this is where I was like, shoot, I can't stop watching it now. I got to keep going. So I was kind of, that was kind of my episode. But let me say what's up to the chat real quick. I don't want to ignore y'all. My bad. Your girl forgot about y'all. I didn't forget about y'all, but I forgot to say what's up. Rashonda's in the building, Queen in the building, Daria in the building, Kendall, what's up?
What up?
Reese in the building. Thank you guys for coming through. I was gonna say just call me EJ, y'all. That's me. Duh. I'm tripping. Derry B in the building. Sally, what's up? We appreciate you guys coming through. P. Jones in the building. Okay, y'all. So everybody else who is here but has not said anything, hasn't said what's up, we appreciate you guys too. So let me get these pictures pulled up so I can kind of keep an idea of where I'm at. Okay, let me get the video file pulled up. Okay, while I'm getting that pulled up, y'all, what's the vibe check? Jay, let's start with you. How was you feeling about episodes 5 through 8?
The whole series was crazy. But 5 through 8, yeah, definitely turned up. Definitely, I was waiting. When are we going to connect?
But 5 through sorry,
Uh-oh. When are we going to connect these two together? When are we going to connect Dawn to the other guy? When is that going to happen? So I felt like 5 and on, finally we see, the connection.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. I was talking to Al.
What up?
He was trying to make sure trying to make sure his wife was cooled off and everything. Because I guess I look hot. No, I really am hot.
That's a good husband right there. Salute.
Yeah, he is.
You look hot. HAWT.
So I completely agree, because I remember when Tamika and Tika and I were, and I think Moochie when I were talking about this, I said something along, because I hadn't looked at episodes 5 through 8 yet. I had only made it up to episode 4, and I said, man, it would be crazy if they sisters and brothers. And then Tika kind of had a smirk, but because I knew she had went further, and I was like, I don't know if that's right, but I remember that smirk Tika had. So I was like, okay, your girl was
I was feeling that way too at one point watching it. I was like, don't tell me it's a sister, but then it seemed like it was going somewhere. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm not right with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Tamika did that to me when I was watching it.
But
I was like,
because I don't like telling nobody nothing.
Like, I ain't gonna say nothing. She ain't say nothing.
I was just quiet.
Okay, that's what's up though. Okay, vibe check, Moochie. How was you feeling about just the entire season?
The first episode, it kind of was slow, but once it picked up, it was just like a ball rolling down the hill, yo. So I didn't know which direction it was going, and I thought it was gonna go we were gonna go more deeper into the racial police thing. But it kind of did, but I thought it was gonna get worse than what it was.
Okay. That's what's up. I mean, I had to really go back. I ain't even gonna lie, I had to go back and remember what happened in the first season, because by the time we get towards the end of it, I was thinking I would not need to know nothing from the first, because I couldn't remember anything. And so I was like, oh man, this is good. Then we get to the end. I said, oh dang, now I gotta go remember what happened, because I just remember bits and pieces. Candy Love, vibe check. How was you feeling about this? Because I know you didn't want to watch nothing scary, as you say, with 2 auras. But how was you feeling?
So of course, I don't like scary movies. I thought this was going to be something very scary and gruesome and guts and blood, and I thought that's what it's going to be. But it was more of a psychological thriller, and I was cool with that. So of course I watched all 8 episodes in one day, because the trailer took me on a roller coaster ride, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and ride this thing on out. And I enjoyed it. Like Jay, I was waiting for something to happen, more so with I'm gonna call him Jeffrey Dahmer, Jesus. Ember, what's his name? Edmund, child. I gave him a whole nother name. I was waiting on something more to happen with him, but it's not how they wrote it, as Tamika would say. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It just didn't do what I thought it was going to do. But overall, it was, it was good. I watched all 8 episodes, so yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. What's up, Struggle? What's up, Miss Tyra?
Oh Lord.
What's name? Bree said I haven't watched season 2 yet because I'm still recovering from season 1. Okay,
Right.
let me tell you.
Yeah, I couldn't do season 1. Oh no.
Okay,
But I did love season 2. I did love season 2 because you really didn't have to watch season 1 until the very end. It's like, oh,
yeah, because I have been telling people continuously, one thing I like about it is an anthology series, and you don't have to see the first part in order to be able to get into the second part. I guess you can still get away with it because they kind of give you a flashback. But when we got to that ending part, I was like, I didn't see that coming. And I think that if you did see season 1, then you gonna have that more of an aha moment, or like, oh wow. But for me, I did not like, I can't say I didn't, well, yeah, I will say that I didn't like 5 through 8 as much as I liked 1 through 4. I felt like yeah, I felt completely different than y'all. I felt like it was going at a certain pace with 1 through 4. And then maybe somewhere through 6 and 7, I was like kind of going, what? Felt like we was kind of jumping around. Maybe some things could have been shorter, some things could have been longer. And this season was 8, whereas the first season was 10. So I don't know. Maybe I just want to be greedy and I wanted some more stuff to be in there. Could have been that too, but I do like the fact that they covered, like the racism, the sexism, the trauma, child generational curses. Like they went there. They definitely covered broad spectrum and in a different way, an original way. So I still like that aspect of it. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And I was watching somebody review, because I don't really like to watch people reviews before I do my own, but it was like a non-spoiler review, and they were saying they wasn't familiar with Luke James, that this was their first time seeing him. And I was like, wow, I didn't think about people that may not know him. I think he's gonna have some new fan base that's going to start following him now and wanting to see the other work. But for those of us that do know him already, we're going to be looking forward to more. And I still feel like he deserves some damn awards.
Absolutely. Shout out to Luke James, man. Like, he did his thing. And this one, he really stretched the boundaries, like on all levels. I've never seen him like this before. We usually see him as the smooth guy, in Empire, whatever, Stars or whatever. And then we see him in The Shy, right? So we know him as Trey. But this was like, he went somewhere else. He was out of space with this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We know that he can play any role.
Okay. Yeah, he
can play any role.
He shows so much range with this.
He did.
Absolutely agree with you, Moochie. Yeah, he showed a lot of range with this. And I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. Like I told y'all last week or last Sunday, I don't know how I'm gonna look at Trig, aka Victor, the same anymore. Like I'm just gonna be looking at him and being like,
You gonna wait for him to come out with a costume, with a clown costume or something?
Okay, looking crazy.
Well, the last time we saw him, we did put like a hoodie on, right? You remember that?
Well,
so
yeah, I mean,
he's ready to go back to the street.
Go back to Trig. We'll see.
Okay, y'all. So let's pick up on episode 5. So our boy has already spiraled out of control. He's devolved at this point, and he already has this thing where he feels invisible. He wants to be seen. And when the cops tell you that you are nobody after you just pretended to have been a can I say, I'm gonna say SK, to have pretended to be a SK, now you are really, you really going. So now you like, I'm gonna go do it then. I'm gonna go do it. And who do he go to? His little friend, his one that was laughing at him. So that's where we left off at, with him breaking the stuff, and all that stuff. And now he gotta actually get rid of the body. So Tamika, I want to start with you. I want you to kind of walk us through this scene of what's happening with our little friend here. And what you thought about it.
The disrespect of them playing one of my favorite gospel songs and having the church scene and then going back and forth to this. That was intense. And also the freaking soundtrack and the sound, whoever was doing the sounds. Oh man. Yeah, they did they did the amazing job. Amazing job. But yeah, him begging. I thought he was going like not do it for a minute. He told him, please, I'll do anything. But no. Edmund said, I ain't got time for it. That's it. It's a wrap. I was like, damn. Then I said, well, we ain't even going to like bury the body, nothing. We just leaving it there and leaving the shovel next to it. Okay. I guess he kind of went into shock a little bit. I don't know. Maybe realized like, damn, I really just did that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's one thing to snap, and then it's another thing once you done snapped and you kind of coming back to yourself, and it's like, oh, snaps, I really did just do all of this. You can kind of see it all. You can, and that's what I loved about Luke James in this. Like he really brought it. When he brought it, he brought it. Like I could feel all of the emotion that he was going through, and the moment that he realized, oh dang, I did this, and I don't know, it was crazy. But here we are.
His eyes. Oh gosh. He did this.
Say that again.
You could see it in his eyes. He did this. He played this part to the T. Like, oh my gosh. He was not Luke James. He was really Edmund. Like,
yeah, he was in that.
He did this.
I wonder if it's gonna be one of these parts where he probably need therapy after this. That's
I can see what
he is playing.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it you or Tamika that was telling me, or was it Tika?
Yeah, I was saying that when we was last up here. Some actors, they gotta like literally go and go through this whole thing after they play these roles. Yeah,
a dark place to bring this out.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this, and I'm gonna kind of travel back and forth. I'm not really gonna go like episodic, like kind of, but kind of not, because there's some things that are going to cross over that I just want to go ahead and talk about since we have so many episodes to cover. So right here in this scene, we knew that, okay, so we know from the last episode that mom told her, hey, you're adopted, and she kind of freaked out about this, and she had this crazy reaction to it. So I knew she was about to go see oh boy. I knew that's where she was going or whatnot. But one of the things that we found out is that she been seeing oh boy for a minute, and all of these things are going to come out a little bit later in the I don't know what episode it is, but it's all going to start to come out, and you're going to have to all start to piece some of this stuff together. Now, Jay, I want to ask you something. Did you figure out that we were in two different times initially? When did it come to revelation for you that we were in two different times?
No, I didn't figure it out at all. And you know me, I usually figure out stuff real fast, right? But I had no idea it was two different timelines at all. Didn't catch it. Did not catch it. I mean, I was focused on her, what she was going through, and what she was going through as far as finding out that information. Of course, Pam Grier, shout out to Pam Grier. She did her thing in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I did not realize it was 2 different timelines at all.
Okay, me either. I didn't. Did anybody figure out that it was 2 different timelines before you actually were presented with it, before it was in your face? Did anybody else pick that up?
I did not. I did not pick it up. I was confused when he went to her house, and I'm like, okay, well, he married somebody that looked just like her. I was like, oh, hold a minute. Is she a cop too? I didn't realize, it was too that just threw me. I'm like, hold a minute. Yeah, it threw me off.
What was you finna say?
Yeah, I didn't catch it at all. When he was knocking at the door, I'm like, oh God, he going there. But then when she opened up the door and it was her son, I was like, wait, huh? Like, and then, of course we got the flashback, and then you realize, I'm like, oh, they got me there.
Shout out to Little Marvin on this, though. Shout out to Little Marvin on this.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm sorry, Mucci.
Who was her son?
You talking about the character's name, or the
person, like
the person who played him?
Yeah,
I think his real name is Joshua.
Because I was trying to figure out who you were saying.
I don't know if he's played anything else, but I think his real name is Joshua something, if I'm not mistaken.
I've seen him in something else, but I thought Jay knew his name. I'm sorry.
Oh no, he was saying Little Marvin. That's the one that made it.
Yeah, that's the executive, the writer, Little Marvin. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So is this still Jordan Peele's thing though? Is it still his or no?
I didn't know he
didn't he do the first one?
I didn't know he had anything to do with this.
No.
I don't think he had anything.
But he has to do with the first one.
Jordan Peele had to do with the other movie. And when we saw them,
one that's similar to this, but
Us.
You talking about Us? That's what you.
It was Us. Yeah.
Okay,
Us.
so them is not even Jordan Peele either.
Oh no.
It's
Little Marvin.
Like right one after the other.
Yeah. We thought it was Jordan Peele though. We thought it was because Us was so great and crazy too.
Us, them, nope. Yeah, okay.
And they are kind of in the same, lane.
Horror.
Okay, y'all. So let's talk about Diaz. So here, after all the things, she looked like she got a hangover, but Diaz had some information, and I felt like he wanted to tell her something that he just wasn't telling her, and it didn't feel like she was really, really giving him the opportunity, which we noticed about this character. She don't really give people the opportunity to give up the details. She wanted to go straight to what you got, yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a lot. So anyway, y'all, we're gonna go. Let's talk about this scene. Moochie, you want to talk about the scene where we get to the house of another case that is similar to they're going to check out another lead, and so they're headed over here and just talk about what goes down here and what you think and all that good stuff.
Well, they were saying that this boy was possessed, but he seemed like he's having the same situation that her son is gonna get into. Like, but nobody sees it but him, and it's kind of scary. I thought it was at first I thought it was her brother at first.
You talking about her?
Yeah, because remember he was going around wherever she was, he would end up. So I was like, I wonder if that was some. It looked like the house at first that they was at the first time, but then when he explained that it was a totally different situation, and they didn't want her there.
Yeah. What did you think about the fact that the redhead man, like, I mean, we're talking about different demographics at this point, y'all. Like, Tamika, we're talking about someone that's not in the African-American community. Like, we done crossed over to a whole different demographic, and it got my head to spin. And I was like, okay, so what? Because at first, you don't want to. I was like, okay, I know it got something to do with supernatural, but at the same time, I thought it was a real person too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking both ways.
Yeah, I figured it was like a combination, but we definitely see that these cases, all seem to have similar things. Even when she went to, I can't remember if they was Korean or whatever, the twin girls, and it was like everybody is saying this redhead, person, and now this particular family is feeling like he's possessed. They don't trust the police. They definitely kept showing how, whether it was black, no matter what it was, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, nobody wanted really the police to be around. And in this particular case, they was like, this is for, him to be like an exorcist. We need the church to come in and he need to be prayed over. This ain't a job for no police. I ain't got nothing to do with this. But of course, she didn't really understand that. Whereas, her partner kind of had a better understanding. He was like, yeah, that is something that they would do. And once the little boy said, the man with the red hair, and that he was standing where she stood, she like, okay, let's come back later and kind of check this out. I'm like, oh Lord, I was waiting to see what they was going to find.
Okay, absolutely. So Jay, as we move on to dude has just, committed his first real deal situation, right? He's trying to I was like, where you finna go, bro? I'm still trying to figure out where he getting his money from. Never mind. I was trying to figure out like how you getting away. You ain't got no job. Like these are all the things running through my mind. Like where are you finna go? What is really going on with this whole situation? But let's talk about this right here because he gets a phone call, right? And it's the phone call that he's been waiting on. Kind of walk us through this scene and what you was thinking. We kind of touched on it earlier.
Yeah, from what I remember, again, it's been a minute. I did binge it. So he caught his first body and he gets the phone call. Is this the phone call where he gets the call back? Or is this the call
about his sister? Yeah. So he's about to, and this is her house. So this
right.
is that
Yeah. I was wondering how he was going to let her know, but he never did. And I'm like, why didn't you just say, listen, you're just my sister. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm here for this reason because, we've been separated. Why didn't he just explain that? But it was just weird how it laid out, right?
Yeah.
Like he's at the door with this cake. Oh, you're the neighbor. I'm the neighbor from next door, right? Meanwhile, he got blood on his hands, right? And your girl, she is on it. She is on it like right away. She is a detective like 24 hours a day. Okay. She's detecting something is wrong, but she's asking a lot of questions. Iman Shumpert, he's like, oh yeah, come on in. But he was real awkward. So that would set me off too. Somebody come to my door with a cake. I don't know who you are. You looking kind of weird. That would kind of throw me off. So yeah, this was real weird, but I wanted him to just say, hey, listen, you're my sister, and just kind of explain. But she was on him.
Absolutely. Now, y'all know when this part first happened, I ain't even gonna lie, I was like, this is where I was like really edgy because I was like, oh, I'm right. This is his sister. Because I remember what the house looked like, right? I remember when Kel went to the door when McKinney had dropped him off, I was like, oh, that's the house, right? And then when I was like, but then when he opened the door, I said, maybe it's not the house. Maybe it's the wrong house. I was like, oh, he got the wrong address and he at her old house. This is what I'm rationalizing in my mind.
This is when they did the whole time switch.
Right, yeah.
And that's what threw me off. I was like, hold up, what's going on here? Like I was confused at first.
The door, I knew something was off. That's when I was like, oh, before everything happened, especially once you saw the haircut, then you know.
Yeah. Yeah, at first I thought he just maybe was like, she done moved in with her mom since they separated, and I thought he was knocking there thinking she still lived there, but she wasn't living there. And then you seeing the son coming in to her at the same time.
Yeah.
But then once, he's like introducing them and the son and her come down, I'm like, oh shoot, like, yeah, I definitely didn't see that part. And I felt the same like Jay. I was like, okay, he gonna tell her now, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, of course, the husband just assumed like, oh, he's the neighbor and invited him in. We friendly with our neighbors and all of that. But then I think that he probably thought that she was going to recognize him or remember him. And I don't know. I think he was kind of caught off guard and kind of taking it all in too, like Edmund when he first come in. And then it looks like she's had this good life and like she doesn't have any memory of him, which she really doesn't. And I think if he would have told her, she probably wouldn't have believed it. But her being the detective that she is, she probably would have looked into it and found out earlier than having her mom tell her later and it being a complete shock to her.
And way later, in fact, right? Way later.
Exactly. So Candy, that was my thought process exactly as to the way she pushed him out so quickly. I'm like, dang, you're a detective. Think about this for a second. You got this person who doesn't appear to be dangerous, who doesn't but he's weird, right? But at the same time, he brings a cake. Like all of these things don't make sense. I couldn't let that go if I'm the person. Like I got to know why. And then the way that he said, I'm happy for you. That's very personal. I didn't understand why she didn't pick up on that. I just didn't.
I guess she was like early in the game as far as being a detective. And the cake. Why didn't you ask about the cake? Happy belated birthday?
Right.
What? Like
right.
Come on.
So many times.
Registered with that whole thing.
Right.
But I think it was like what a 2-year time difference.
Yeah, so the real time is 1991 and his time is 1989.
89.
So, there's that. It just felt like as curiosity just would have been like happy belated birthday. Yeah. I hope you have I'm happy that you're happy. Like that just sounds too personal to me. And even though she picked up on some things, I was trying to remember they real names.
The names.
Okay.
Yes. I was like, let me
so I gotta do it.
But it just felt this part right here. That part is the part. It felt different. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like a weirdo. It felt like somebody who was familiar with you, and that would have made me want to know. But
yeah.
And I would have
wanted to know too. Like, what are you talking about? Happy belated birthday? You're happy for me? Like that would have been. But I mean, she was already on to him being weird anyway. But you can see how she's looking at him like, what is this? What is this? What's going on? But
shout out to the writing though, because the misdirection, the redirection, the misdirection is just throwing us all off, and we're kind of like, okay, why this, why that, why didn't this happen? But there's a reason later on, as we find out, as we see,
and then we see this. It's like, hold on a minute, I came to your house. I'm like, what the world?
Yeah, we get part of the tape, and then he gets here, and we see that he's devolving even further into. And then all the red hair, because, I've been wanting to know about that Raggedy Ann doll for the longest, and it was just a lot, y'all. Like, it was just way too much going on. So, moving forward, we're back at the house, right, Tamika? We're going to start here.
Can I just say that I looked up about the Raggedy Ann doll, because remember when we was up here last time, I said, what is her issue? Why is she going on about the Raggedy Ann doll? So, I saw 3 things. One thing was something with anti-vaccines, whatever. Something else was that Annabelle doll that they have the movie about and that's supposedly in the museum and it disappeared. That supposedly has some correlation with Raggedy Ann or whatever too. And the third thing was something with a mammy doll and these little black dolls with, tied in with racism. I'm assuming that's probably the part that they was going for in here. And I was like, oh, I had never heard of none of this. So yeah, that was interesting because I was like, why the hell is she going off so hard about this damn Raggedy Ann doll? What the hell is the problem?
She truly was. Like, the mama was not having it. She threw away all them doggone dolls, all of that. Okay, so we're back here. Tamika, did you agree with her decision to take him to the hospital? So the exorcism, I'll set the scene up. So the young man, Benito, little Benny, he is, the thing is attacking him, basically, is what it is. But they're having an exorcism trying to get the demon out of him and all of this. He's foaming at the mouth and all of that stuff. And they're waiting on the ambulance. But the ambulance, I believe they said 7 minutes, 8 minutes, something. It was out. It wasn't coming no time soon. Did you agree with her to drive him without the partner? Did you think that was going to be an issue? Because it automatically, to me...
Yes, I definitely thought it was going to be an issue. Like, I get it. You want to get him there as fast as you can, but you in these positions, especially with her being a detective, she knows that you're not supposed to move the patient. Like, it never works out good, no time, or very rarely, when you end up being the one to move the patient and saying you're bringing them there as opposed to just waiting for them to come to you. And especially going without her partner and leaving him there. I knew it was something about to pop off that was gonna mess her up, but I didn't know it was gonna exactly go like this. But I definitely was like, oh girl, why? I felt like she was making bad decisions.
Yep, exactly. Moochie, and on the way over there, this little, I'm gonna call it a connection because I don't know what to call it. Something was going on with him. He just
Look at her fingers. It was like, you know how that bone stuff happening. Like, oh man,
it was a lot, and there she was right there. And it was nothing, and she saw it with her own eyes. There was nothing there. It was just happening. There's no way that anybody's going to believe that story. But let's move to the next scene, which is where I call it the arrest. They didn't really arrest her, but they kind of arrested her.
They was questioning. They had her interrogating her.
They detained her. They detained her. Yes.
They detained her.
Yeah, and they was enjoying it. It was that same a-hole cop that she had to deal with. Oh, I was so disgusted.
Can I say something? Can I say something real quick? When they were talking about the guy with the red hair,
I thought it was him.
I thought it was him. Thank you. You took the words out of my mouth. I thought it was the cop because, like, he is the most racist, the most, like, the worst dude going against her. And we could tell, we as a people, we know what we see when we see it. You know what I mean? So when they said the guy with the red hair, I automatically thought it was him. I really did.
I ain't gonna lie. I went there too. I was like, but then I started having the same questions. How he been in these bodies then? But I was like, he got about 100 of them with him. I said, maybe it's like a group of them. Like I'm,
like
really trying to figure it out.
I thought it was that group that when she rolled up on them.
Right.
I thought it was that, and then at first I said, oh, they pinning this whole thing on her. And then I was like, well, is the other guy doing it? That's when I was kind of lost.
Yeah, I think everybody thought it was McKinley. Kendall said she thought it was McKinley too.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. So, Moochie, let's talk about this. First of all, Kel is so unconcerned about everything. He just don't be paying attention. He be in his music. I get that he's a teenager. I really do. But still, everything he don't pay attention to hardly anything because he's so consumed with like music and just doing teenage stuff, I guess, to the point where he misses the fact about the arrest, so he doesn't see it. So literally he walks into a situation not knowing. Can you kind of talk me through that scene when he gets to school? And because I'm gonna skip to that because I'm gonna go ahead and talk about him when he gets to school and the little girl goes off on him. I'm trying to see if I can find it somewhere in here.
And that was the only girl he really talked to like that. He that was, to me, that was kind of like his only friend. But when she was like, your mom's a cop and she's a blah blah, And I was like, dag, now he has really nobody. And I just thought about the thing where she said, if you stop doing these things in this order, then you'll find out if something messes up. Do you remember? Because he had to have everything in order, because if one thing was wrong, something happens with his day. And I was like, dang. So now he's gonna really think it's that.
Yeah,
this scene kind of pissed me off. I didn't like it because I felt like she should have been able to pick up on the fact that he didn't know about this. It's not that he's trying to keep a daggone secret from you or whatever. He's looking shocked and wondering why the hell everybody looking at him and you over here, oh, your mama's this and that, and walking away. I was like, girl, bye, get the hell out of here.
Okay, and I'm just like,
wrap somebody up, boy.
Exactly. And Candy, if you're somebody's friend, this isn't the reaction that you have anyway. You would have been more along the lines like, you could have told me about this. How you doing? How you dealing with it? What are you even doing?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Those would have been the questions, not how she reacted. It was just the wrong reaction. That's not no friend I would want. Say it like that, because I want the type of friend that no matter what it is, even if I'm wrong, the first thing you're going to ask me is, am I okay? and then you can get in my ass. But then but you
Right.
gonna ask me, am I okay first?
Pause.
Right.
No Diddy.
So silly.
Man.
But let's go back for a second.
Had the conversation alone, like she blew him up in the hallway and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she should have put him to the side or something, right?
Make
Yeah.
matters worse.
Yes, that is Sax in the background.
Yep,
Sax was
yep.
up in the building.
Shout out to Sax.
Shout out to old Sax, still being a jerk. Okay.
He does it well, so well.
He just plays that part so good. Candy, let's talk about this scene right here with the mom and the lady that she's working for. Just kind of talk us through what happened there.
Oh my Lord. So of course we know she doesn't like the the Raggedy Ann dolls, or in Ann or Andy. So she threw them away earlier. I don't know what episode it was, but the lady brought them out and was like, "This is we make money off of these. Like, this is money you're throwing away." I forgot how much money she said it was, but she's trying to let her know that, hey, this is a Black community. This is not. We don't dabble in this right here. Like, I don't know what it is about it. I think Tamika mentioned it earlier. If she did, I can't remember what it was about the dolls, but she didn't want them in around her, or she didn't want to sell them to our people. But of course, she's pushing it off, and they don't know any better. They don't know to care or to learn how certain things work with us. And of course, she ended losing her job because she just chose not to sell that particular item in the store. And I thought it was sad that the lady would treat her that way and not try to learn what's going on with these. But I mean, I thought it was trifling and low down. She's been with you for 10 years, I think she said. And she just, like, well, I can do this, run the store by myself. And I'm like, well, damn, okay. All right. But can somebody please tell me, why did she have her arm under the blade, maybe episode 2 or 3 or something, when she saw that doll before she threw him away? Why did she have her wrist under that blade, like she was getting ready to chop her hand off?
Girl, I don't even remember that part, so I can't even. That was too long ago in my mind.
For real? I mean, y'all don't remember?
Tamika,
there was a few times that she was about to cut herself, but I guess it all correlated with all the other stuff that was going on, where they was hearing noises and the lights was flickering off and on. It was like it started out subtle, and then it just kept advancing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And even though I agree with Candy on some aspects as far as this with her and the lady, this even I even was like, oh wow, with this, because when we initially saw her, I was thinking she owned this shop and the lady would come in and help her. But then come to find out, this is the lady's shop and she's been working for her. So at the end of the day, you can't take it upon yourself to throw people products in the trash. And I don't know, maybe it just seemed random to the lady, like, what's going on with you lately? It's been stuff happening with you that don't usually be happening all this other time you've been working here. But I did feel like they could have came to, some kind of agreement with it being that long and her not usually having problems where it didn't have to go the way that it went, I don't know. But I was like, oh, she's the owner.
I didn't realize she was either until, they said it.
She knew what time it was, though. She knew what time it was. Like as we find out, right? If we're talking about 5 through 8, as we find out, there was a point where both of the twins were with her and she sent him back.
Yeah.
So she probably was experiencing some crazy paranoid psychological stuff going on. So it had to do with the Raggedy Ann and Andy. So once she saw that, it was like, oh, this ain't gonna happen again. Let me throw this out real quick, even though it ain't mine, even though it's a job.
And we didn't know that at that time. That's why I was like, "But what the hell is going on? That she doing all of this about?"
But earlier in the episodes, we did see strange stuff going on with her that she did notice.
Yes.
So it's like there was little hints that something was going on. She knew what was going on. This Raggedy Ann stuff got to go. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she does tell the lady that it has like a racist undertone to it.
Yeah.
And I figure when she told her that, like, okay, since some people just be, and no disrespect, but some people just be about money and about
exactly,
business. and that's it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
but she did have a point though. Those probably weren't gonna sell. They probably was gonna stay right where they was at.
Right.
But you know, you're right. She was still wrong for doing it. She should have said something to it. She should have been like, "Hey, these have racist undertones. Our people are more than likely. I've been working in this area for a long time. They're probably not going to purchase these. It was just a way to do it or whatever. But I get she going
Mhm.
through some paranormal stuff and
Mhm.
trying to get rid of it. So you know, it's
Yeah.
like different levels to it. I
Right.
get it. What's up,
Hit 'em
Aries?
a little
What
bit
is
better.
up? So
Yeah, Aries.
crazy.
What
Okay,
up?
y'all. Moche. There goes Sax. So I was so disgusted by this whole part, y'all, because it was almost like they were waiting on this to the point where
Yeah.
the dude does kind of say that, right? That they were waiting to be able to pin this on somebody because the LAPD is under a lot of scrutiny because of the Rodney King thing. And now we have this
Mhm.
where a child was unalive. Well, he was found, DAD in the care of a LAPD officer. So now they want to put this on her. How was you feeling about this? Because I couldn't stand it. I was trying to find
I
some
was
tea.
Yeah.
kind of pissed off with this because they trying to link this and the other thing with her too. So, and it seemed like her ex-partner McKinley was just rubbing his hands like he was waiting for this to happen. He seemed like, it was just crazy. I also
Absolutely.
well, I was happy to see Sax too. Like I was like, oh shoot, when I saw him.
Y'all, Poe Kale. Let's talk about Kale for a second because he was going through it. I mean, poor
Yeah.
baby. Like I was just feeling bad for him this entire time. I'm like, dude, you got him up here touching the floor, touching his nose, and all this other stuff. He already is kind of,
Oh my
kind of
God.
reserved and awkward already, and you gonna do this to him like this? Like, come on. And the police officer, this just a clown scene. This worse than that Diara scene where they was having them repeat that stuff about it's crazy. But yeah, so we
Mhm.
see Kel is experiencing a lot of like he's getting the grunt of it. To me, he's getting it a little bit more than the mom at this point because he's really starting to see the redhead and all this type of stuff, and everything is going crazy for him. Did anybody think Kel wasn't gonna make it? Let me say it like that.
I thought he wasn't. I was worried about him.
Yeah, I had a thought that he might not.
But
Okay.
I really got worried about him.
Okay. Yeah, I had a thought that he was definitely affected, and it's like dude had access to the young man here because of the bloodline. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He had access to him. Let me mess around with him. I don't think he was going to take him out like every other kid has been taken out though, because he's part of that bloodline.
Okay. So you think he was just more so this was a mental thing, just messing with him?
Yeah.
But you don't think he was ready? Okay.
To get at her too.
Okay, y'all. So we gotta talk about this big scene that happened at the dinner table because there was a lot going on at this dinner table. Where I still stand by my statement that I understand. I get it to a certain extent now because I can't relate because I'm not adopted, of course. But I am a person who has a father who's not their father, but that raised them, but didn't find out about it until later. And I imagine that could be something similar to that because you know what I'm saying, like just not knowing something, right? And I never agree with how she reacted to her mom, who, raised her and took care of her and took her out of this abusive situation. Now that she has more of the details, but she really going in on mama. Tamika, I need to know how you was feeling, what you was thinking. And was she somebody you wanted to grab, or did you understand her feelings?
No, I understood. It may not have been right to, be popping off the way she was popping off, but I definitely understood that if you grew up a whole nother way all this time and then you didn't remember none of this, and this is actually kind of linked to the cases you're working on and things that you've been hearing and seeing about this home and this lady that's now deceased and the kids and the treatment of them, it was like, well, what the heck could have, was happening to me there? But Kel, he always want peace. Like he always just like, oh, can't we all just get along? You know, he didn't want to have her arguing with grandma, and she telling him, "I'm still gonna be your grandmother no matter what." I appreciated that, but then I got even more pissed off with Mama later on when we found out the other stuff. I said, "Well, wait a damn minute." Like I said, too many secrets, and you know, families keeping secrets. It's been known to happen, and sometimes it ain't. You know, you may have the best interest and meant well by it, but it does have an effect, and now we gotta go ahead and deal with it.
Absolutely. And I think I was just more so on the point of her, the way she reacted initially. And this is before we really get into all the stuff that's really tying back into it. Because when Mama initially tells her, she goes straight off. I mean, she just kind of have this reaction. But then in this moment, she go off. And I know a lot of it had to do with everything that she just went through, because you're a police officer and they just treated you like a straight up common criminal. Like, seriously, that has to have affected her. But Moochie, the way Kel then talks to her the same way that she just talked to her mama. Can we talk about it? What?
Which one we talk about when he was like, "You not hardly here," and then when she brought up the two,
he said on Nicole.
He brought up the two.
Yes,
and he was like, "I know why you like going there, because you like that big D."
Oh,
he didn't say that part yet, but he does. Like
Yo, he was just rude. He said, "You wasn't here for me. You're not here for anybody. You make everybody leave. You made Dad leave." And then he said, "You wasn't even here. You made him leave because you always at work."
Kel goes in on his mom, and it felt, I said, dang, you just went in on your mama, and Kel just went in on you, because here we are, you weren't there for him, but Kel apparently knows something, and we don't know what Kel knows just yet.
Yeah,
because he ain't said it all the way just yet, but you know that he knows something, that he somehow figured out something. Jay, talk about just talk about the thing that we talked about. Give us your perspective, and then Candy, you give us your perspective, and then we'll move on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I understand her reaction totally, because when she was in whatever courtroom and she was answering questions and they were leading her to the point of her kind of knowing that she was actually adopted before she really found out. It's like, were you at the foster home? And she was like, no, I would never. Right. So she's totally like, no, because she has no knowledge. And then once the mom says, listen, you actually were adopted and all of this and that, it's really crushing, because your whole identity is based on your mama telling you who you are, where you came from, and everything else like that. So when you hear something different and then she admits to it, I can understand why she went off. It was the first reaction. Now, of course, you need to be respectful to your mama. All right. Be respectful to your mama. But doggone it, like, I'm going to say she was in her right to be as upset as she was. You know what I mean? And with her son here, though, I can understand why he would say, hey, listen, you ain't supposed to talk to grandma like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, stand up for your grandma. Like, you know, she still raised us regardless of what you just found out. Show us some respect. But when he was like, listen, I got to go to the show, you can't come with me. I don't know that, I can understand why he was mad. But y'all would have did the same thing she did. Shoot, you ain't telling me. I'm your mama. Don't tell me where to go. I raised you, boy. Right? I brought you in this world. I take you out. You know what I'm saying? You tell me. But he was upset as well. So it was just a whole lot of negative energy going on at that table. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, it was all coming out. Before I get your reaction, Candy, let me
but you know what, though? I don't even think it was really his anger. I think that's when her twin was starting to tap into that kid. I think that was the beginning of it. Because he never spoke to her that rude before. He never, he barely talked to her. He was barely opening up to her. And for him to say all of that now, I feel like that. I feel like, I feel like that was the beginning of him tapping into him, like how they could tap into each other because of the bloodline, like you said, Jay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, Marcy, thank you. You said me and my mom watched season 1. I was a little confused, but I got the hang of it. It's really good. Hold on. Andre, thank you. Appreciate you for coming through. You haven't watched it yet, definitely go and watch it. It's a good one. And you don't necessarily have to watch the first season in order to really get into the second season. And to be fair, shoot, I think it's somebody who did like all the episodes. You just go look at somebody review if you just really want to know. I'm pretty sure it's some people that done broke down all the episodes. That's what I would do. And then, hold on, it was somebody else. It was another one. Inga, thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. I can't find the other comment. But anyway, but yeah, Candy, perspective.
I understand why she went off on the mom. Because it now has changed a whole lot with how she, handle things in her life, or just as far as what Jay mentioned, the test. What is it called? The test. That made a difference with that. If had she known, she would have been able to say yes.
Yeah, the lie detector test, because they thought she was flat out lying and she really didn't know. That was crazy.
Right. So, but him, the way he spoke to her, I understand why he did it, because now it's like he's like he's gonna break the fourth wall. Like, we're open, we're talking. Let me say how I feel now. Not that he was right to do it in the way he did it, but I mean, maybe he felt like it was space and opportunity. I don't get to talk to you any other time, so let me say what I got to say now.
Yeah, and we got to remember that he's holding on to something. Like we have the okay. So Mama, I talked to Mama. She was wrong. Like, she's just wrong for not family secrets. That just shouldn't be a thing, like, really, because family secrets is nothing that ever good ever comes from a doggone family secret. Real talk, never does. So she was just wrong for not telling her daughter what was going on, right? Because she's not prepared. Because had she have even known that, let's go back to 1989, she might have thought twice if she had known.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so, yeah, Mama is wrong all the way, but Kel knows a secret, and he feels like she being hypocritical is what I think. And I think that's more so where his anger is coming from, because he knows about dude. Let's just talk about it. He knows about the dude, about the affair. He been hinting at it all this time, but he ain't said it that he know about it. So in this moment, I feel like he feel like you just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you telling a lie too, you keeping a secret too, even though the secrets are a little different, but you know what I mean. So I feel like that's where his little thing comes from. But here we are. He don't want her to come, but good thing she did come, because guess what? You out here seeing things again.
Yeah, but when it first started messing up, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I felt like it started happening because she was there. Because I was like, damn, he was doing good for a minute. Because I was so nervous, like, oh, he gonna mess up, but he was rocking. Then as soon as she
doing good,
yeah, I think it was her. It was her energy. Yeah.
Think so?
I think when they're close together, that's when he could tap into him and get like really, really close.
Oh,
I agree. Because he was walking down the same path from the bleachers to him, the same way she was.
Yes.
Because they're tied in with the bloodline. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Some kind of way he able to tap into him, because I mean, he did it at the school. He does it this random. I don't know. It's weird, but when she shows up, he really get nervous. All these things started happening. He started foaming at the mouth. I was like, man, if he started crackling like in the doggone,
what up?
Not crackling.
I feel bad when they started pushing him, though, because they was already getting on him, like, you better not mess up and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
can't believe
you. They probably already didn't care for him anyway because of what his mom did.
But also they know that he
was
does that too.
Yeah.
Because he has a condition.
He has a pile on.
Yeah, he has a condition.
Yeah.
Golly. Okay, y'all. So okay,
crazy.
redhead dude. We done saw the redhead dude. Mama come save him. Okay, let's talk about the next thing. Let's move on to Mama.
Jeez.
I was like, why she go?
That mama go bye-bye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to, have marks of where the next episode starts. So we actually on episode 7 at this point. That's how I know what episode is what. But yeah, mama go bye-bye, y'all. Like mama is out here hearing things, seeing things. A little Raggedy Ann doll done showed up. Kale seeing things. He done had to take his hair down. Like it's a lot going on. But that soup scene, Tamika, what in the world?
Listen, when they showed her making the soup, and then she coming walking down to bring the soup, but then we see grandma coming from around the corner at the same time. I said, oh, hell to the no. Now we're going to have different people in different parts of the house at the same person, but different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, oh, no. And then he, come on, don't you want some soup? Eat that soup. I was like, oh,
soup. I said, well, damn, that was rude.
Okay. I said, all righty then.
I loved it though. I love it. I love horror, so I loved it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. This right here, this picture, y'all, was so funny to me. Don't Kale just look like he done been through the damn ringer, y'all? Look,
he do. I was like, this poor child.
He's a kid. Yeah.
He has. He's been going through it before this even started.
Kale said, he said, I can't handle no more of this. And ain't no way I would have stayed with grandma, y'all. After she just
he said, get her the hell out of here, get that soup out of here.
Ain't no way in the world. So then grandma go and see some stuff, and she like somebody in the house. So now Dawn is having to get the blicky and go around trying to, find whatever's in the house. Well, first of all, I'm coming with you, mama, because I'm not staying with grandma, because you saw what just happened the last time grandma was in there. Hell to the now. But he did as he was told, and she going to go look, y'all, but nothing was there. Meanwhile, grandma, y'all, Moochie, you want to talk about grandma
and
taking
he
his
did tell her somebody was gonna
he did say that
tonight.
Yeah, he said somebody gonna go.
She went here.
Because at this point, she knew. She put the two and two together.
Like, why go?
Yeah. And I was pissed with her that she freaking told her that, what she did. Like, it's so crazy because you know how we were saying that we felt like with the father when he went to see him that he let him down and he sent him back. I'm like, now you have somebody else that sent him back. Like he went through a lot of craziness too. I don't know, child, but I was just like, and now she done told her that this was a damn imaginary friend.
Crazy.
So we're gonna pop back around to that conversation in just a second. We're gonna go through what the whole story of what she actually said and the twins and how we come together to the story. And I also need to know what y'all think about the daddy situation, because I was confused on that, so I need some extra opinions on this one. But so Moochie, you said that you was like she was crazy, right, for going into this place.
I don't understand why she went there. Like,
I don't know either. It's too much going on in America for me to be doing it. I'm like,
I hope he don't. You know how everybody's bones was getting like that. I was just mad at that.
He let her there. He let her there.
Yeah,
she thought she had the power. She coming in there, Edmund, come on out with my family.
She trying to protect the family. You messing with my grandson? Oh no.
Okay.
Mama Bear.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. So when it was all said and done, the little thingy thing, whatever he is, whatever it is, he actually cuts her head off, which is different from everybody else. It's a totally different situation from what he did to everybody else. But so that happens. But what I want to really get into is this conversation that we have right before Mama passes away, right? Mama has a whole conversation with Dawn about the real deal. She tells her the truth all the way up to the part about her husband passing away. Who feels most confident about telling the story, what actually happened, especially for those who may not understand everything that transpired with the babies and all that stuff?
This is when I got confused when she was telling this story. Because then I had to be like, I had to just go back and watch it again and get it like that. So
okay, Tamika, Jay, either one of y'all confident with telling the whole shebang?
Go ahead,
to be honest, for me, I felt like Mama was slacking with this story. This story didn't make no sense for me. I know she said, what I heard her say was, y'all was freaking frack. We had both of y'all. We loved y'all, but your brother would not put down that damn doll. He, refused to stop playing with it. I threw it away. I got him some beautiful black dolls. Who don't like beautiful black dolls? And he still came back and had the damn doll again. It sounded to me like she was very upset that he liked this damn doll. But not only that, one day she takes her for a walk in the park and she leaves him home with Daddy. And when she come back, Daddy is now deceased on the floor and he's sitting there holding his pills in his hand. And she was like, I know I shouldn't have blamed him. I know I shouldn't have felt the way about him. But after that, it got to just be too hard. And I was like, I could only take care of one of y'all. And I took him back. And you would cry nonstop. And I didn't know what else to do. So I started telling you that he was your imaginary friend. I was just like, I know, Mama, there's something missing in this story, Mama. That just ain't adding up for me. Oh, child.
And I didn't remember this story. I didn't remember. Thank you for explaining that, because I didn't even remember that part. But looking at the image that you had, if you go back a little bit with him on the floor, Daddy on the floor and all this and that, automatically popped in my head that Edmund did that to Daddy, and that's how he really died. Because I didn't even remember that story that you just said. Yeah.
He was playing with the pills, they say. I'm like,
yeah, she said he was holding the pills.
She was alluding to. I think she was blaming him for it, but
that's
a pretty good point. That is a child-proof bottle, and that little man probably couldn't open the bottle because when the thing is coming, because remember she keeps having these issues with her hands, right?
Right, she has issues with her hands, and then she saw the pills on the floor, which led her to the box, which was in correlation with the whole her adopting them and having the stuff from the mother in the box. So I'm assuming, like she said, she didn't want to blame him. It's like he's a little boy, but at the same time, I guess she couldn't look at him the same, and maybe that was just the icing on the cake because she wasn't already feeling him from the damn dolls. Child, that wasn't good enough for me, Mama. Talking about I had to take him back. I was like, what?
I mean, you think a young kid killed your husband? You going to send somebody back? Somebody got to go. You know what I mean?
I looked at it like she blamed him for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like she knew it was wrong to do so, but she still did internally anyway because he couldn't get the pill bottle open, which signifies why his spirit thingy tells her to open the pill bottle, but yet she can't.
Exactly.
Like I couldn't do it. You can't do it. Like, look, your hands, so I felt like that's the real reason why she sent him back, because he was a reminder every day that her husband was gone.
Yeah.
And you couldn't save him, even though he was a kid and you were forcing this thing. Like, you couldn't help but feel sorry for Edmund.
Yeah. I'm like, everybody let him damn down, man.
Everybody.
Are we saying, though, a question for all y'all, are we saying that evil spirit has been there since the beginning, since they were kids?
I'm not saying that. I think, I don't know. Here's the thing. This is the part that I don't get, and this is the part that confuses the heck out of me. Right?
Okay.
Because we know that there is a correlation, like this is a carryover, like Tamika was saying earlier, generational curses, right?
Bloodline.
And we know from from the last season or whatever, and y'all know I'm shaky on this, so y'all walk with me on this one and help me out where I need some help. But we know from the last season that there was a similar situation where we had the revenge thing, right? Whatever he was, a little blackface thing, right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't real, right? But this is something that has been carrying on in their family. Supposedly, he's supposed to be gone, right? But I say more like repressed, in my opinion. I don't think he's gone. I think it's just something that's there, waiting for the right moment to trigger so that it can inhabit the next generation. So I would say yes to your question, Jay.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it was prevalent at the moment. That's what I think.
At that time, talking about with the father, because that's what I was thinking. That's what popped up in my mind. Not to interrupt you. That's what popped up in my mind. Automatic. So if let's say it was Edmund's fault, but it was really that evil spirit in the bloodline coming out that did open that bottle, that did put those pills in his mouth, and that really killed him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's so many different ways that this could go. Who knows?
But he didn't take the pills, though, did he? He just needed the pills, right?
He needed the pills and couldn't open
them. He couldn't get the pills.
Right.
He couldn't
Because the boy had them. Yeah.
Not letting them open it.
Yeah.
But I guess the Jay is saying, what if the spirit somehow was, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the little boy did. It's just too much.
It's a lot.
It's too much to think about. But honestly, I don't think that the spirit presented itself until it had an opportunity. And that's when Edmund devolved so far that he was about to unalive himself. And you know what I'm saying? Like when
I agree. I think it could be the other way too, but I think they was going through enough hell that they had to deal with that, you know, was just hell, period, without the supernatural part being added in. I think that came in a little bit more prevalent later, but I could be wrong because
I think you're right. I think you're right because we do. I think you're right because we do see, I know we're going to get to it, but we do see the good side of Edmund taking care of his little sister, well, his twin sister, right? So it wasn't always there. You know,
exactly.
It was that lady. It was that daggone foster mother that was the evil one.
Disgusting.
We'll get to it.
She was horrible and smiling like she was going. But we'll get to that in just a second. But Candy, that's just too much. Before we move on from this, I think it's really important for us to talk about the one other thing. And that's what the information that Kel seemed to know all along. When the spirit takes over Kel starts to say some stuff to his mama. He been talking a lot. This little ninja don't talk at all. And then he started talking his behind off. Talk about that. And do you think Kel somehow found out about this and has known about this and has been holding this in and he blames his mom for the separation? Talk about it. Tell me what you think.
So y'all confusing me now. Y'all got me thinking that Edmund putting this stuff in his head. So maybe he didn't know. Maybe Edmund put it in his mind for it to come out so he could say it to his mother about her, you know, sleeping with, I forgot his name.
Shoot, I forgot his name too, but he's fine.
Sleeping with the dude and how he do it, you know, and the things he said, like he said it with so much conviction as if he was talking to somebody to appear, not his mother. So he was all the way off with talking to her like that. Like Edmund had that boy gone, or whoever, Jangle Leg or whoever had him gone, because he was just oh God. I was like, oh Lord, no. It was disturbing how he spoke to her, but I knew that was not him. I knew it was Edmund or either the redhead man. That's about all I could say.
I got a theory. Okay. Here we go. Kells, that's his name, young man, right?
Yeah, Kells. Yeah.
He was okay until Mr. White Cop put him in the car, put him through all of that trauma. You saw how he came back home. He had to get his stuff, get his little extra stuff. I think it's triggered when trauma is happening to them.
Yeah.
So when you see Edmund going through all the trauma that he went through, that's when the spirit comes alive through the bloodline. So whenever they're going through a lot of trauma, that's when this stuff starts to pop up, and you know it kind of like flares up. You know.
I agree with that, because the more traumatic things that happen, the more intense and the more they started seeing it. It started out subtle in the beginning, and the first times we see the lights flicker, I mean, that was the beginning, so we don't know if anything was happening before that, but that's the way I perceived it. It's after she goes to the house and sees the house and is starting the case, and then, you know, he thinking it's his mother turning off and on the lights. He's saying, I'm coming, and she ain't even near. So I feel like it started gradually from there, and it just kept going up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, so we done made it to the last episode. We did pretty good, y'all. We did pretty good. We had 1 hour. We did pretty good. So we went back to the last episode. And this is I call it the revelation because at this point we know a lot of stuff at this point, and we put a lot of things together, but we're about to get a big, huge revelation at some point. Now, first and foremost, Diaz, I don't know, he was trash to me, and then he wasn't. It was like we was in a mix. I didn't know which way he wanted to go.
He was riding the fence.
Yep.
Yeah, he was riding the fence.
Yeah, in some ways he was riding the fence, but in some ways it's like what you said earlier. She really wouldn't give him a chance to damn talk. She would want to do whatever she was doing and be like, "Are you in with it or not?" And every time he was about to start saying something, because we could clearly tell he wanted to tell her something when they met there in the diner before everything hit the fan. But he didn't get a chance to tell her. And then the next thing you know, of course, she was brought in with all these different, accusations and all of that stuff happening. And now he's coming back again, like if he want to be a friend. And I don't know if that was before or after this, when she calls him and wants him to look into the brother, and is like, I already looked into him, and I already knew that you was there at that home, and that's what I was trying to tell you at the damn diner. So then of course she finds out that he was gone, and that's when I really was like, oh damn,
It's a lot going on.
It really is.
Specifically tells her not to go to.
And I was pissed with her again when she did that. I'm like, they watching her, they're gonna arrest her again.
She don't listen, okay?
She pushes the envelope a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, she does. She don't listen. So she go back to the house. Moochie, when she went back to the house, this is when we realized that what she saw before was not what she saw. That it was repressed memories instead. I didn't think that. Did you think that?
No, I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that. I didn't realize it was that. But this was crazy when she went in there and she was reliving the whole walkthrough of the crime scene again. And then that's when it did like another flashback where you saw her as a child. And that didn't, I was like, now we're gonna get the whole story.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was a lot, y'all. That was a super lot. So Dad has come back at this point, which is great. Dad has come back, but then Dad also see it in the mirror. I said, first of all, don't you take your behind up these stairs. Can you do me that favor and do not go up these stairs? At the later part when he hears something and then he take his butt up.
Yeah.
I was screaming at the TV, y'all. I'm like, if you don't take
me too.
If you don't run, ninja, run. Okay, y'all. So I'm sorry. When I saw him, that triggered that thought. But anyway, let's talk about this conversation. Jay, I want to talk about this conversation, or not conversation, this tape rather, that, and I guess he's talking to himself, or he's talking to the tape, or he's talking to her rather. So I guess it is a conversation. And this is a moment that we've seen before, but now we get to see the full thing where he had just came from, well, I don't know if he just came, but he had seen his sister, right? And he's making this tape, and you can tell that this is probably the moment he decided that he was done, that he was about to just take his life and go on, because he's telling her, like, why is it fair? And I kind of felt him in that moment. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was legitimate feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, all his life, he's been traumatized and didn't have an opportunity. And now it's time to give up the ghost, man. But this is when everything takes over. You know what I mean? He ain't going nowhere, but I kind of felt him too. I agree with you. I did feel like really sorry for him, because we know some people who, went through, the system, right? And wish that they had a better life, wish that they had parents, wish that they had an opportunity. And it seems like he just didn't have that opportunity because he was awkward, because things happened and he got sent back. It's like he had no chance at all.
Twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so twice.
Well, then 3 times somebody left him. His mom left him. Then his second set of parents left him, and then
right,
Those
so
white
he
folks
got left over and over and over. Then he feels like his sister was taken away from him. That's horrible.
And then she rejected him, right? So really, that's like 3 times you being rejected.
Family, and you don't.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Talk about this clown right here, Candy McKinley. And this
I wanted him gone long time ago, but I was so glad she was a tape recorder holder type chick.
Yeah.
Because that was the straw that broke the camel's back for her in the end. And I was glad of that. But I didn't think, well, I kind of thought he was the thing in the beginning, but then, okay, of course, we revealed that he's not the red-headed thing, even though he is a red-headed monster. I was glad. I mean, he just spoke to her any kind of way. Like, you saw what I did to the other person, and then telling, I think his name Diaz, the other guy. You know, he's trying to tell him, like, don't do this. And then he, you know, pops him. You know, I didn't like him. I guess he didn't like us. He didn't like colored people.
He was racist. Bottom line.
He was racist. Period. Yeah.
And then it was the Rodney King time frame. So of course, you know, that didn't make it any better. And it was all ugly. He was ugly from the beginning. I didn't like him, but I was glad he got what he got. And I'm glad she was able to record and have her second piece on her as well. I was glad she was smart.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted Edmund to pop out from somewhere and snap his neck. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I said, now Edmund, this one you need to come out.
Yo, I thought that was gonna happen too. I wanted him to take him out so bad. I wanted him to be bent up like a pretzel, yo.
I was thinking that for a minute.
Yeah, Holy Spirit activate.
Yeah, but at first I was happy that Diaz was there so he could be a witness, and then I was hoping Diaz would, you know, end up like defending her or whatever. But then when he got I was like, oh Lord, they both gonna be out of here.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody gonna be able to tell the story.
Yeah.
Paleo line behind, but you know what's interesting is that even though I would have loved for Edmund's spirit person to pop out and grab him, but it feels like the spirit person only either acts in revenge or is something similar that leads her to something. So, you know, unfortunately he didn't fall into the piece of the puzzle, but I wish he had her. To be honest, but you know, just so he can see what it felt like and see, you know, like what you're accusing her of. Like he was always off the mark anyway. Like a human being can't do half the stuff they do. Now I know we saw Edmund break a leg, but even he couldn't break it the way that, you know what I'm saying? It looked armed when he tried to do it. It just don't work.
And the way they question her about the little boy, like, what the hell y'all talking about? How did I do that? And I just, I didn't like none of it.
Yeah,
but I'm glad she was a tape recorder.
They're just hungry to solve a case, and of course, put it on either the black or the brown. That's all it was.
Yeah,
absolutely. So back here, Tamika, we back at the house, and we are back at, you know, supernatural stuff happening again. And once again, I don't know why he ran to the danger. I run away from danger. I don't run to danger.
Yeah, I don't know either. They should have got up that damn house, and then he had the nerve to be walking up there with that knife. I said, that ain't gonna do nothing.
Exactly. But I want you to talk about the because we're gonna bring this to a close, and I want you to talk about the story. I feel like you'll be the person that can really give us the imagery of this final story as to young Edmund and how we got from where we're at, like the final piece of the puzzle. And then anybody else who wants to talk about it will go after Tamika.
Yeah, I actually liked how they did this scene because, you know, like y'all mentioned earlier, her coming to the realization that I wasn't seeing the things that were actually here at the crime scene. It was repressed memories that was coming back to me. And then her seeing him small. Of course, at this point, he done took hell, so she got to go here to the damn house and try to get him back. And, you know, seeing him be small and going into the different things of how abusive this lady was, her chasing them around and, you know, blaming them, saying, why y'all doing this to me? And, you know, obviously beating them, locking them in daggone boxes and small spaces with no air, all kind of crazy stuff. That was just ridiculous. And him telling her, this is our hiding space. This is where we could be safe. She's not going to get you here. Him literally putting a damn straw through to help her breathe. I was like, what the hell? And then her being, you know, inside of it, literally feeling like she's living it over again. And, you know, this spirit basically feeling like now we could be together again, and you know, we can go on together. You can be with me now even though you couldn't be with me the last time. And also her seeing when her mom first came and dropped them off, and then realizing that this is the little, I don't remember her name, but it's been a long time since season 1 and I never was able to go back and watch it. But the girl from season 1, that she's giving them up because she thinks that's the best thing to do. She's saying that she wants to give them up for them to have a better life because she doesn't want the things that she went through to be passed down, you know, to her kids. So she thinks she's actually doing what's in the best interest, but in all actuality, this is where the, you know, generational curses and family trauma and all of that come in, because it still ended up getting them. I mean, she had no way of knowing that. Thank you, Kendall Emery. Yeah, you know, and her leaving the Raggedy Ann dolls with them, and you know, that's why he so much holds on to that. Oh, it was just so deep and so sad. I felt so bad, like that. And then her crying like, Mama, no. Yeah, she really feels like she's in the moment, reliving it all over again. I was like, little did she know she was leaving them with a damn monster. You know?
Yeah, their last name I believe is Emery, but I think that one of them name is Ruby and the other is Gracie, and then their family name is Emery.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that was deep. That was definitely deep. I didn't see that part coming at all. That was well done.
That was well done, because I wondered how they would spin the block on it, and I was like, oh, because at first I really thought that there was going to be no correlation, right? And then when they did that, I was like, and
baby, I sat up because I was laying back on my bed. Once they showed her and they start doing those flashbacks, I said, oh,
who got her pregnant?
She said the father left her.
But I know she said that, but I was like,
but
I wonder if it was from like, because remember, I had to stop watching it, so I didn't even get through the first season.
She got pregnant by the blackface.
No, I don't think so.
Blackface is really a white guy, so them babies white skin, they is dark. Or we assume they, because you know sometimes weird things happen. But yeah, so Moochie, final thoughts on how this all kind of played out, and then Jay, I want you to talk about the very ending, and then I want to kind of grab some theories from y'all. But Moochie, I want to get your thoughts on the way the story came up to a close. Candy, I want to get your thoughts on the way the story came to a close, and then Jay, you can give us your thoughts. But then I also want you to talk about the very ending when we go back to the black box, and you know what I'm saying.
The way the ending was to me, well, her moment where her and the brother come together that last time, and he finally, I didn't know. Did y'all see the person come behind her that looked like her that was behind him?
Yeah, because he was telling her to surrender to it. Like, you can come be with me. So if you surrender to it, then we can be together. So he wanted her to surrender to I guess what would be the twin version of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's when I got like a little Us reference. Like when I saw that, I was like, damn, this is like Us, that quick part.
Yeah, they would have been the Dawn and Edmund Raggedy Ann versions.
Yeah. But I felt bad for him, but I see that she got closure because she blocked all of that out. So now she did, when she found out the whole story and that and her mom, and then with him and the way he went, I think that's where you want me to stay, right?
You can talk about any of it. Just
yeah, I thought that it was, I thought this part, how can I say it? I was glad that she got her closure, but I thought I thought he was gonna be able to go for help or something, but you know.
Okay. Candy Love, final thoughts on this story, how it all came back to like I said, I can't remember if it's Ruby or Gracie, but the Emerys basically from from season 1 of how it came back full circle. Any final thoughts on that?
Well, because I could only watch the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 1, I have no idea of how it tied in until they, said it. So I don't know, because I couldn't do it.
Okay, I remember you saying that you didn't finish watching.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but
no worries.
I was still confused a little bit with when he passed, because I thought they said he passed 2 years ago, but he didn't.
He did. He did. Okay, so
yeah. See,
he did pass.
He did pass 2 years ago. They had us in a parallel. They had us in 2 timelines, but we thought we were in the same timeline, but we weren't.
Right.
They had us in 89 and 91 the whole time. That's what they did, and they did a good job at it.
Yeah,
because not a lot of stuff had changed. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as hairstyles and like it was so good that you would have. I don't know nobody that has yet to say that they figured that out. Like I haven't found one person to say they figured it out. To me,
so at the end, when she was with him in the end, when was that?
Supernatural, because this is a supernatural horror story. Like it's a supernatural show. So
I'm like,
that
what the hell?
That was more representative of him releasing
releasing the bad spirit and letting it go. And feeling like he could have peace now because she was telling him, "You my brother, I love you. I remember you now."
Right. Yeah. It was more so the love that released him from the evil spirit, because remember what I said earlier, the trauma is what triggered everything in their bloodline. So once she figured it out, saw the imagery of them and how he took care of her, she figured out, you know what, you weren't my imaginary friend. You were my actual brother, and I love you. And the evil spirit can't survive in love. This is very symbolic, very, very symbolic to a lot of different things. Little Marvin, shout out to Little Marv. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that is true, Jay. That is true. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a lot of symmetry. I loved it. I mean, if you really just like it, he did a great job in it. Like
sure did.
But then again, I watched this at work with my phone, on my desk right in front of my chest, looking down. So, but I still was tuned in, but I was sneaking.
Gotcha.
Now, as we come to the close of it all, y'all, there's a moment where we see Dawn kind of gets a little. There's kind of like. I don't want to say fully, because I don't feel like she was vindicated in the court of public opinion. I still feel like she's still going to take. I still feel like it still looks bad for her in a sense, even though we all know that she got it on the recording, but she doesn't get to have her job back. Not that I would want that mug back, but she doesn't
really. That was some bullshit. Yeah. I'm sorry.
She ain't want a job back though. She ain't want a job back.
She really didn't, but the fact that he even said like, "Oh, I can't, let you in publicly like that, but we could wait a couple months and I could put you on a desk. Like we take care of our own." How the hell is that taking care of me? Get the hell out of my face. I love the transition, how they went to F the
right. Yes. I feel that she was vindicated in that moment. Like the recording and her making it through this racist environment. With all these white guys coming down on her, trying to pin her for everything. Right. I thought at that moment she was like, you know what? Here you go, buddy. You guys can take this right here and shove it where, So
I wish it was like public versus being in a private room. I wish it was something done publicly so everybody could see.
That's what you mean.
Yeah, because y'all didn't mind taking her down publicly, but then you didn't want it to be public with saying, she is a good cop and this didn't have nothing to do with, with her or whatever publicly.
It would have been great.
But
it would have been great if we saw it.
Okay. Yeah, they really didn't clear her name.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
kinda
say. It
put
would
it
have
on
been
the
great if the news said, you know what, we actually know who was involved in this, that, and the third, and they kind of explained it on the news. If we saw that, then she would have had, public,
But she kind of put it on the guy, right? The one that she unalived. She kind of put it on him, right? Or did I catch that wrong?
Yeah, it is on him. It is on him because Diaz testified and said that she did
all of the
nothing,
things,
and it was him. So she said, if you're asking me if it's going to stop now, yes, it is. He said he basically was put as the red-haired man, but still, y'all was not trying to go public with her part. Yeah,
right.
And that's what the part I was talking about, Tamika, is that that's what I didn't like. But yeah, I felt like in front of them, they had to wipe that mess off their face. That's for sure. Like, because last time they was doing too much kiki kind and smirking and all that mess. I didn't like it. Like that mess had me hot.
But again, this is a testament. This is a testament to how they do. They keep things behind closed doors. So whether we take you down or we got to let you go, we're not going to let the public know anything about that.
They're not going to know the truth.
Right. The public is never going to know the truth. This is
when it's already done. You know, once it's done, it's done. You really can't, bring it, can't really correct something that was already tarnished. Your name is already tarnished. Right. But that would have helped out a little bit for the ones that would care. For the people that would care, it would.
Her reputation, right? For her reputation.
Yeah, within the Black community, I feel like the Black community would have definitely accepted it and been like, okay, sister was vindicated. She didn't do nothing. Forget what the other ones think. That's the only ones I really care about, because they really had her looking crazy out in here in front of her own community when.
That's right, Kendall.
A good cop and trying to do the right things, doing it for the right reasons, and that's you don't always get that, and it was just a lot.
It lets you know. I'm sorry, it just lets you know exactly what we know today, that they don't care about us and never did.
Absolutely. Yep.
Hey.
Okay, Jay. You about to bring us on to a close, bro? Because
man, listen, I did see the entire season one time. I never went back. Okay, I was like, this is crazy. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I watched it at night. I was okay. But when this dude came back, I was like, oh shoot. That just let me know that it ain't over. It's not over. There has to be a season 3 with this guy.
Yeah, I was thinking in season 3 now, Cal grown with his kids. Like, what's gonna happen? What's going on?
Right.
And Kendall mentioned it in the comments that Dawn played Lucky in season 1. So
yes.
And that's her grandmother, right? Or her great grandmother? That's her grandmother,
right? So when she pulled it out from that black box, she pulled out the picture of them when they were babies, and then she saw underneath the entire season 1 family.
Yeah,
entire family.
Yes.
Just for reference, y'all, that picture is the one with their son, and that's where everything kind of began in season 1. I had to do a little bit of research. That's where everything kind of began with season 1, is that there was a traumatic experience.
Exactly. That was too traumatic for me. That's why I couldn't deal with it. That episode 5.
Yep.
There was a traumatic experience that happened to the mom, and then the child was unalived, and that's where the big thing happened. So in this picture, because my husband kept saying, "Who is this baby?" I was like, "Baby, y'all remember the season?" I'm acting like I remember. I'm like, "You don't remember season 1?"
Oh my God!
I don't know.
Man, a pillowcase. That's all I gotta say. Jesus.
I heard about it, but I'm like, no.
I couldn't do it. I personally couldn't do it. That's why when I heard it was a season 2, I was like, well, why are we getting a season 2? But then, y'all already heard me tell y'all. Once I saw the preview, saw who was in here, and I just thought like, oh, it's a different story. Okay, cool. I'll try this one. But I do like the way they did it. I like the way they tied it in. I don't know if he already had plans of doing it this way, or maybe the input from season 1, if he made any changes or not. I know they did a panel recently, and I would like to watch and hear what the thoughts was, but I would say job well done with this.
Absolutely. A lot of people from what I've seen, because I've seen some other, reviews, they say, of course, season 2 is more palatable you know, they can absorb it a little bit more. It was some jump scares here and there, and those people who are scary are scary, but for the most part, it was done very well. Where you didn't have to watch season 1, but with seeing him now, oh yeah, we getting to season 3, and we have to get to season 3 because this was done so well.
Absolutely, because you got to think about it. Tamika talked about trauma. I think everybody talked about how it's triggered. Jay, you talked about how it's triggered. The trauma is not gone. Like, there's still a lot of stuff to really unpack, and we're not talking about a time frame when people are heavy on going to therapy or any of that type of stuff. Like, it's still about to be some stuff. And I like Kendall's thought process. She said probably something with Kale, because you remember they had the reflection of Kale in the mirror with the red hair when so it could be something along that lines. I think my husband said the similar thing. He said that it's probably going to be something with Kale's children.
I agree.
Like,
that's what I was thinking. As soon as I seen him come walking up, I said, oh shoot, yeah, this is going to continue, because they thought they was having peace. You see her and the father getting along now, him coming over for dinner, you know, everything seemed to be good. And then she finally go and looking in the box and just so happened to notice the other picture behind him. When he came up them stairs, I said, oh, okay, season 3.
In season 1, if y'all don't mind revisiting.
What'd you say?
Say it again.
What was he in season 1?
He's really, so there's a supernatural feel to the show, right? He was the supernatural feel to the show. He was the thing that really wasn't real, but he's really a white guy that's really under the black face, because it's a representation, you know, black face and all that type of stuff. And he was trying to get, he was trying to get them to basically, I don't know the whole story, so don't get me to try to tell you the whole story, because I already told you, I done forgot it. But from what I remember, he was trying to get them to take vengeance because of something that had happened prior. If somebody can jump in if you remember exactly what it was, I just can't remember the whole story. But I know that he was really a white guy that was under the black face. He wasn't a black guy. He was trying to get them to do
he was just another entity that was evil. That's the bottom line. Okay,
that followed them from the last house, because remember they moved away from us. The mother's family.
Tap dance man, that's his name. The tap dance man.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of what his name
was. I don't remember it all, but what comes to my mind is that every time they were going through some racial slur or racial event, this guy would come out to try to provoke them to do something crazy to get them back. That's what's coming to my mind. Like, okay, all right, it's time. What you gonna do?
It's like he was trying to provoke revenge.
Exactly.
It's like he was trying to provoke.
It's like,
revenge.
this is how they see us. And you know that, so what you gonna do now?
Exactly. And the crazy part about it was that that was the big hoo-ha, was the fact that he was really a white guy trying to perpetuate this, trying to force them to do this, because it wasn't even, you know what I'm saying, when it all came down to it. It was so weird. But like I said, that was a hard season to really watch. And honestly, I didn't let that stuff live in my memory. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, just enough to get through this review, but not enough to really go. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I really forgot this season. I tried to forget it real quickly because it was a lot. But I
did forget it. I never watched it again.
I never looked at it again either. I just went and read some few things. I was like, I just need to know a couple of things to get through this live, and that's it, just in case this question come up. But that's it. But I didn't really do a whole revisit. But Candy, I know you look at Mo channel. I think Mo has all
he has all of them. Yes,
you can check out his reviews, and Mo be, he be step by step breaking it all the way down. So you can check those out, and it without having to look at it and know what it was. You know what I'm saying? So do that. But anyway, y'all, we got through it. 1 hour and 37 minutes, y'all. Thank y'all for entertaining us for this long. We went through 4 episodes. I think that we did a darn good job. You know what I'm saying? With 5 people on a panel. Yes, we did that. All right, y'all. Let's talk about what's going on your channel. Start with Candy, Jay, Moochie, then Tamika. You up first, Candy.
So I am I have you can hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a Aries and I. Okay, Aries and I are dropping a video tomorrow at 2:30. We did a pre-record, so we minding somebody else's business. We going to court, and it's very crazy. So I need you all to tap in and tune in at 2:30 tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, to help us with that. And we did another video. We did some videos on Saturday, and then Inga and I are doing Love and Marriage Huntsville on Sunday at 6 o'clock. So please tap into that. Even if you are or not, just come in, throw some flames up in the sky, as Tamika would say, hit the like button on that. So that's all I have right now. Just trying to do something, get something done until the shot comes.
All right. Well, good. You're doing a great job. I just want to let you know you're doing a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jay, what you got going on, sir?
All right. Well, again, thank you for the invite. Always a pleasure with the ladies. You know how we do. So tomorrow we are going to be getting into we're starting a 5-part series, myself and Assie from My Sweet Perspective, a 5-part series leading up to Power Book 2 Ghosts. So we're going to be breaking down, the different families and, the past, the present, and what we see as far as the future of the Tejadas and Tariq and everybody else. So, definitely check us out on that. We're going to do that every Wednesday. Then we're going to be coming back this Saturday. Well, not this Saturday after next, right? For BMF, the finale. We're going to be doing that. And then Sunday, we're going to be talking about the Shy. We're going to be talking about episode 9, I believe. And we're going to be doing some things leading up to the Shy as well. So look out for all of that. Definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. It's your boy, VACAY. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Right. It's a pleasure having you, brother. And Moochilla, what you got going on, boo?
Okay, so I got some trailer breakdowns that'll be uploaded, and also tomorrow we'll be doing Mayor of Kingstown. Come through and check that out. We're doing episodes 8 and 9.
All righty. Okay. Ow.
Yes, thank you for the reminder.
If she don't say ow, okay? Come on now. Ow. Tamika, my girl, the hardest working woman in these YouTube streets, is back in these streets, y'all. What you got going
on? What do I have going on? Thursday night is movie night with the ladies, so we will be discussing Shirley. Friday night is Harlem Nights, okay, Flashback Friday. And then Saturday, I'm doing Self-Care Saturday, which you should be watching. Monday, it's maybe going down with Blood In, Blood Out, Mafia Monday. So, y'all check that out. And if y'all didn't see our throwback movie, we did do the throwback movie. What was it, Moochie?
We did the throwback movie, Let's Do It Again. That was Sunday.
Let's Do It Again. On Sunday, we did that. If y'all missed it, check it out.
Y'all did something yesterday too, right?
Yes, we did Road to
Prediction yesterday.
Yeah.
That I need to watch. I have no idea what that was.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, y'all. So for your girl, of course, movie night with the ladies. Y'all already know going down tomorrow, Thursday. Tamika will be hosting. Make sure y'all watch Shirley. I just finished up Diara from Detroit. That's finished up. If you didn't get a chance to check that live out, check that out. I do have a video that's coming up that's going to explain the entire storyline from beginning to end as to what happened with little Deontay, just for some extra content. I also just dropped my trailer reactions. I'm going to be doing a lot more trailer reactions. So I dropped my trailer reactions for Bridgerton. I have one coming up for The Shy, and I have one coming up for the Donald Sterling movie. I think it's called Clipped, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
Yes. That looks like it's going to be good. Yeah.
Coming out. And then I should maybe this week. I gotta wait till I get a little piece. I'm waiting on one little piece. I think somebody's gonna have it to me by tomorrow, and then y'all will get my new segment, which is called TV Junkie Therapy Sessions, where I just take some of these TV characters to my personal therapy and, to tell them what I think and tell them what's going on. But that should be dropping sometime this week. If it don't drop this week, it'll definitely drop next week. So anyway, y'all, that's all I have going on. I want to thank everybody on the panel. Thank everybody out in the chat. Kendall, always a pleasure. You always coming through. Marcy, appreciate you. Daria came through. Froggy came through. Net came through. Queen was in the building. Derry B, Inga came through. Monique 69 Ways, and everybody else that came through. We appreciate you guys, and we about to get up out of here. And until next time, guys, peace.
Salute.